Hi! One of the things that has driven me bananas over the last 10 years is every time that I hear somebody tell me that I'm so disciplined and that they could never be that disciplined, or they wish they could be that disciplined, and like it's so crazy. And it's always about things like just healthy eating, or like going to bed early, or waking up early, or exercising, just basic shit. And it's always kind of irritated me. I never really had the vocabulary or the insights to understand what precisely it was that annoyed me so much about it until quite recently. And you'd think it's a compliment. I should be thrilled to be hearing these things about myself, and it should be boosting my self-confidence and motivating me to keep going. And it does to a degree. It does in the sense that it's validating for me that I am someone that will do things that other people aren't willing to do. I like that. I like that about myself. It's kind of diametrically opposed to how I was raised, and I am proud that I am building a person who will do the uncommon. But I don't really take it as a compliment either, because it doesn't come down to discipline for me. Maybe initially, but I never viewed it as discipline. To me, discipline is something you have to apply to a task that you don't want to do. But the things that people compliment me on, or the things that people think I'm crazy disciplined about, I'm not. I just prioritize those things, and I've been prioritizing those things for such a long time that they are my life, and I just couldn't imagine doing things any other way. I've been doing certain things for such a long time now that the way that other people do them, it doesn't even make any sense to me. For instance, I don't eat junk food at all, and it's not something that I feel I'm depriving myself of. It's just something that I put in a concerted effort to cut out years ago, and at this point, a lot of it just seems like a science experiment to me. It doesn't even register as food, so I don't feel like I'm missing out, and there's no willpower involved, there's no discipline involved, it's just my life, it's just who I am. And I think it bums me out when I hear people saying that I've got a crazy level of discipline, that they could never do that, or they wish they could do it. It bums me out because it's just a massive bummer that so many people think so low of themselves and have so little faith in their ability to achieve things, to follow through, to prioritize, to stick to things. Again, trying to be a walking thesaurus here. You get what I'm saying. Like, it's upsetting to me that people accept mediocrity and just have so little belief in themselves that they're not even willing to try and find out if they're capable. And for me, I do live a healthy lifestyle, and there's a lot of room for improvement, always room to optimize, no matter where you are. But I do live quite a healthy lifestyle unfortunately, by most people's standards, even though I feel like I'm just doing sort of the bare minimum. Where was I going with that thought? Yeah, it's just a shame. It's just a shame that people have been so discouraged and so coddled to the point where my pretty mediocre efforts are seen as basically superhuman. I don't get it, and I don't like it, and it doesn't make me feel special or better than anybody else. It's kind of depressing, honestly, that's the state that we're in, that people view these really basic things as something completely out of their reach. It's a shame. I guess part of it is developing the knack for following through on these things, and for me, unfortunately, I gained that through having anorexia. So between the ages of 19 and 22 or so, I was clinically diagnosed with anorexia. And I would not recommend anybody anybody fall into that. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But one thing it did do was it taught me discipline. It taught me how to put myself first, and it taught me how to, it showed me that I'm capable of a lot more than I was raised to believe that I was. And definitely the pendulum swung way, way, way too far. It's now been, so I'm 31. It's been about 10 years since I was at my worst. And I do very much feel like I've come full circle, particularly in this last year. I wouldn't recommend anyone go through anorexia, but that's how I developed kind of that grit and that stamina and determination and whatever, and it's stayed with me ever since. So I suppose I got a little bit of an advantage in that way, that when I first started trying to do self-improvement, I went to an absolute extreme, like full on. You know what? Listening to David Goggins kind of reminds me of what my mind, or what my headspace was like at the time. Somehow David Goggins came out an elite human in peak condition, and I became a frail, barely alive sack. But you know, different journeys, different bodies. Yeah. Turns out there's actually something positive about anorexia. Who would have thunk it? And I do have an idea now to talk about that whole experience and that whole journey and what I took from it. Probably that'll be another video. Yeah, that was just a quick little rant about how much it annoys me when people freak out about my crazy levels of discipline. I do not have crazy levels of discipline. I am so far behind in some areas. I've got some things on lock, and other things I'm a shocker at, and I'm working on that now. Everything's starting to really come together. This is the best I've felt about my life as a whole in a really, really long time. And none of it is discipline. All of it is priority. I want an amazing, big, adventurous, free life. I want it so bad. And I'm learning a lot through the Lion's Den and through Sean Whalen, and also through my strength coach. And I'm learning how to actually break down big goals and set the small daily tasks that add up to those big goals. And I don't view any of it as discipline. Today is my first day of 75 hard. The water thing is absolutely preposterous, as I assumed it was going to be. I'm just starting on my 3rd liter and it's fucked. I don't understand. I also decided that it was a cop-out to just do exactly the same thing I've been doing already and call that a 75 hard, because that's not hard. That's just what I've always been doing. That's literally not going to push the needle on anything. So I decided to add in, right now my morning routine is wake up, cold shower, got a gym in the garage, so I'll hit the gym, do my workout, and then I'll walk the dog, and then I start work. And that's my movement kind of out of the way for the day. Out of the way. No, it's not. Like, I have a stand-up desk, I'm always up and about bopping around, and after work I have a little boogie, and I'm generally moving a lot, but my like structured kind of workouts, they're all chunked into the morning, and that was always for efficiency, so that I could have my afternoons clear. But I realized that if I was going to do 75 hard, I needed to do something that would actually be a challenge. I don't have the option to move around my morning at all. That is the way it is, because it is the way it is, and it's not going anywhere for now. I decided to take care of the second workout. I would add in a yoga session at night. Right now, my boyfriend and I will sit and watch a few episodes of The Office, or we'll sit and watch an hour and a half or so of any shows and movies and whatever at night before bed, and then I'll go read for a bit before I fall asleep. But yeah, my second 45-minute workout's just gonna be a yoga session in the evenings, and then we'll sit down and watch a little bit of something. I think that'll be really good, because I've been looking for ways to incorporate or trying to include include my boyfriend Alex in a lot of the stuff that I'm starting to take on at the moment. And seems like a great idea. He's been meaning to do more yoga lately for his back. I'm keen to try more yoga. I'm keen to do an activity with him. Replaces some of our couch time. It's great. But the only thing is that, yeah, this is really new. This is not something that I've never really done evening movement particularly, and also, you know how it gets, like that time of the evening, you don't want to move, you just want to be a couch potato, you just want to lounge. So it's going to be a challenge. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of nights where I go into it kind of kicking and screaming, grumbling, probably not kicking and screaming, but certainly grumbling and whining about it. And I'm certain, I am 100% positive there's going to be nights when Alex doesn't want to join in, and that's probably going to deter me from doing it. So this is now, it's gone from 75 whatever to 75 hard properly. And yeah, this water thing, you can't see. My phone is propped against my water bottle. I'm just pointing to my water bottle. Relevant information. Anyway, it's not discipline, it's priority. If you're struggling to be disciplined about something, you might just not want it badly enough. Think about it. Out.